Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay. Today in mathematics, we're going to be learning about ratio. We're going to be learning about ratio and how to solve ratio, converting ratio to percentage and the rest, knowing the meaning of ratio. So are we ready? We're ready to get into today's lesson, right? Remember your books and your pencils for today's lesson. Okay, let's move on. We're going to know the meaning of ratio. What is a ratio? Ratio is a mathematical expression between two or more quantities or values, typically expressed as a comparison of their size or amount. Ratio can be expressed in different forms, including fractions, percentage, or column. This column represents the symbol of ratio. This is the symbol of ratio, which we call the column. Is the symbol of ratio. Comparing numbers, okay? Let's say if we have 4 red bags and 6 blue bags, the ratio of the red bag and the blue bags will be 4 ratio 6. This is how we read this. Not 4 colon 6, no. We say 4 ratio 6, okay? It can be written as a fraction also, 4 over 6, okay? And it can be reduced. If we want to reduce it, we have to use 2, right? 2 in 4 is 2, and 2 in 6 is 3. So it can be reduced to 2 over 3. And it can be written as 2 ratio 3. So this is read as 4 ratio 6, not 4 colon 6, no. So we're going to be looking at some examples on ratio, okay? Are we ready to do that? Good, let's go. We have example here. Write out the simplest form of this ratio. We have 8 ratio 12. Remember, it is not 8 colon 12. No, it is 8 ratio 12. Okay? So as we write them in their simplest form, what do we do first? We write it out. 8 ratio 12 is equals to 8 over 12. Remember, we said it can be written as a fraction. So we have converted it into a fraction. So it's 8 over 12. Now we have to write it in the simplest form, right? So we're going to divide. We're going to divide the numbers to get the smallest numbers, okay? If we want to start dividing, we can use 2 to divide to divide. If 2 divided, it will be 4. If 2 divided, it will be 6. And you can still use 2 again. If you divide 4 is 2, and if you divide 6 is 3. But now we went straight to the point in using 4 to divide here. We said 4 divided by 8 is 2, and 4 divided by 12 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 3 is 12. So we use 4 to divide here. So 8 over 12, we used 4 to divide 8 over 12, and our answer is 2 over 3. This cannot be divided any further, right? Yes, it cannot be divided any further. So we have 2 over 3. So the simplest form of 8 ratio 12 is 2 over 3, and it can also be written as 2 ratio 3. Did we get that? We got that, right? The simplest form of 8 ratio 12 can be written as 2 ratio 3, or 2 over 3. Or did we get that? Yes, we got that right. So that is what we mean by changing the ratio of this number to the simplest form. So let's look at another example, okay? Here we have 32 ratio to 72. It is not 32 colon 72. No, it is 32 ratio 72. And what do we do first? We convert it into a fraction, right? So it's 32 over 72. This column just changed it to a fraction, okay? So it's 32 over 72. And we are to reduce it into its lowest form. Now, to make things easier, I started with 2. We used 2 to divide 32 and used 2 to divide 72. It gave us 16 over 36. If you divide 2 divided by 32, it will give you 16, and 2 divided by 72, it will give you 36. Okay? So we divide again with 2. I made it easier. You know this one I said, this one I said we use 4 straight up, but this one we use 2 to break it down, okay? So here we use 2 again to divide 16, and 2 divided by 36. So when we divide 2 in 16, it gave us 8, and we did 2 divided by 36, it gave us 18. So what do we do next? We use 2 again because this is not the simplest form. 8 over 18 is not the simplest form. A number can still divide it, right? Yes. So we use what? 2. It's only 2 that can divide these two numbers now. Okay? Did we get that? So 2 divided by 8 is 4. And 2 divided by 18 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 9 is 18. Okay? So when we use 2 to divide 8, we got 4. And use 2 to divide 18, we got 9. So it can also be written as this 4:9. Not 4:9, 4:9. So the simplest form of 32:72 is 4:9. Okay? What did we do first? We converted it into a fraction, right? Then we divided till we got the smallest. That's what we did, right? And our answer here is 4:9. So the simplest form of 32:72 is 4:9. Did we get that? Okay, let's move over to the next example. Here we have 5:25. We are to turn this into the simplest form. Write them in their simplest form. So we are to turn this into the simplest form. So we have 5:25. What did we do first? We say 5/25. It can be turned, this is a ratio and this is a fraction. So we turned it into a fraction to reduce it into its simplest form, right? Yes. So 5/25. What can divide these two numbers without a remainder? We have 5. 5 can divide itself and there will not be a remainder, and 5 can divide 25 and there will not be a remainder. So we say 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 5 divided by 25 is 5, because 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times 5 will give you 25. So here we have 1/5, sorry. So this can be written in a ratio form, which is 1:5. It is not 1:5. No, you don't read it like that. It's 1:5. Okay, did we get that? So the simplest form of 5:25 is 1:5. Okay, good. Now we're going to look at our other example. Here we have 72 to 24. This also means 72:24. When you see 72 to 24, it means 72:24. So what do? We change it into a fraction, 72/24. Then what do we do next? We divide till we get the lowest number, right? So when we divide, we got 3/1. And you can write it in ratio, which is 3:1. It is not 3:1. No, it's 3:1. That is how you read it. So the simplest form of 72 to 24, which is written as 72:24, is 3:1. Did you get that? We got that, right? We understood everything I just said, right? In making ratio the simplest form, you convert it into a fraction first. Then when you do that, you have gotten your answer. You divide till it gets to the smallest number. Okay? Did we get that? So we said the ratio can be explained as a way to compare two or more quantities or numbers. It shows how much one quantity is in relation to another. Okay, did we get that? And it's usually expressed as a simplified fraction or using a column, which is called the ratio. Okay, so we understand that, right? So we're going to more examples. Here we are to convert the ratio to a percentage. And how do we convert a ratio to a percentage? That is what we want to do here. So understand, right? So we say 3:4. How do we convert 3:4 to percentage? We say 3/4. Remember, a percentage is 100, right? And we are to convert 3:4 to a percentage. So we say 3/4 times 100, which is the percentage. You know a percentage represents 100. So this is the percentage. So we say equals to 3/4 times 100/1. There's an invisible 1 over here to make it a fraction. Okay? So what do we do next? We cancel. We do what? Cancel. If 2 cancel 4, it will give us what? 2. And if 2 cancel 100, it will give us what? 50, right? So we have 3/2 times 50/1. 2 can still cancel 50. Can 2 cancel 50? Yes, 2 can cancel 50. So we can use 2 to cancel itself, it will give you 1. And 2 cancels 3 to give you 25. So we have here 3 times 25. And when we multiply 3 by 25, it will give us 75%. So the percentage of 3/4 is 75%. Did we understand that we are converting a ratio to a percentage? So when we solve this, we got 3/4 is equals to 75%. We do the same here. We have 12/30. We say 12/30. 12/30 is equals to what? 2/5. We have already cancelled. We reduced it to its lowest form. Okay, we did what? We reduced it to its lowest form, and when we did that, we have 2/5 times 100. Remember, the 100 represents the percentage. Did we get that? So we say 2/5 times 100/1. There's an invisible one under 100 to make it a fraction. So 5 can divide 100, right? If 5 divide 100, what is it going to give us? 20. So we have 2 times 20. And 2 times 20 will give us what? 40%. So the percentage of 12/30 is 40%. Okay, we got that right? Good. We have another example here. We have convert percentage to ratio. We have to convert this percentage to ratio. Remember, the previous one we were converting the ratio to a percentage. Now we are converting this percentage to a ratio. We have 68% here. We have to convert it to a ratio. And how do we do that? We say 68/100. Remember, this percentage sign is over 100, right? Yes, this percentage sign represents 100. So we say 68/100. And we reduce it to its simplest form. What do? We reduce it to a simplest form by using numbers to divide it. Any number that can divide it without a remainder. And when you divide, you have 17/25. You have divided and you have divided till you got to 17/25. Okay, this is the lowest it can go. No other number can divide 17 and divide 25. So our answer is 17/25. So 68% in a ratio form is 17/25. Did we understand that? I hope we did. Good, we did. So now we're going to move over to the next one. Here we have 112%. We have to convert this percentage to a ratio form, right? So how do we do that? We say 112/100. Remember, this sign, it represents 100. Okay? So we have 112/100. We have to divide this till it gets to its simplest form. And when you use different numbers, you can use any number that can divide it to get to its simplest form. But make sure the number you are using to divide will not have a remainder. Any number you are using to divide will not have a remainder. So when you divide till you get to the simplest form, you have 28/25. Okay? We have 28/25. So the ratio form is 28/25. And the fraction form is 28/25. So the ratio of 112% is 28/25. Okay? Did we understand that? Converting a percentage to a ratio, right? It's easy, right? Good, it's easy. So we understood this example and exercise we just did, right? Converting a ratio to a percentage and converting a percentage to a ratio in the previous one, and making a ratio into a simple form, right? We did all that and we understood it, right? So we're going to do an assignment. The assignment says convert from ratio to percentage. We have to convert 5/2 and this to a percentage. We did that in our example, so you can refer to the example to solve yours also, so that you can get the answer, right? And you have to also convert from percentage to ratio. We can do that, right? We did it in the previous example. You can refer to the previous example to get your answer. Okay, I hope you understood this. Good. Okay.